Hey, what is going on, everyone? Lauren Sisler here with AL.com, hanging out with Mike McCoy, former receiver at Alabama, and he's got the scoop on the big rivalry week we are heading into this week. Alabama, Tennessee. We are going head to head.
Let's go now. Oh, now. Let's go now. Can't stop us. Let's go now.
Hey, and we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Tech Program by Mercedes-Benz, hooking us up with the swag this week. What's up? All right, so it is rivalry week. That's hard to say without a little tongue twist. Alabama, UT, third week in October, although it's not technically the third week. This thing gets all jumbled up, and of course with the pandemic, ain't nothing normal these days.
Nothing.
But with that being said, Alabama has won the last 13 straight. What does the Alabama-Tennessee rivalry mean to you? I know you like to smoke them cigars.
That's the. Is it a rivalry? I'm not going to consider it. It's just another game.
That's it?
That's it. I ain't got nothing to orange. I ain't been to orange in a long time.
13 games and going strong. We'll
13?
see. 13.
Got to be more careful.
13 games and going strong. Alabama heading to Neyland Stadium this week. And, of course, Tennessee, it's worth mentioning, coming off a 34-7 loss to Kentucky. Ooh. We'll start with the offensive side of the football. The Alabama offense doing some big things against Georgia, one of the most stymiest defenses in the SEC and, of course, the country. And,
supposedly.
Well, yeah. So, really, they didn't get the best of Alabama, obviously. Coming into that matchup, you know, it was a back and forth. It was a lot of fun kind of watching those two teams sort of tee off blow by blow early in the first half. And then, of course, Alabama kicks the 52-yarder. Your boy Will Reichard, what'd you think of that, man?
Kick from here to Wisconsin.
Woo, 52 yards. I think that really set the tone for the second half. We've been talking about that pretty much all week long, that, you know, even though they were still trailing 24-20, definitely set the tone. They come out, they light them up in the second half, they get things done. We're heading into week 5, almost at the halfway point of this regular season. Where is the ceiling for this Alabama offense?
There's no answer. We're just going to call this the Allen Iverson of offenses. No answer. It's been, again, I can say all the time, it's the greatest show on turf. You can't double team anybody. Running game strong. Passing game strong. We just strong. They look like the Avengers out there. That's what we're going to call them from here on out. The Avengers.
The Avengers. The Allen Iverson Avengers. We talking about practice?
Practice?
Practice. We're talking about practice. That's right. Well, they obviously got to go to work this week, put some practice in, because, look, you don't want this to turn into one of those trap game type of deals. But with that being said, here's one thing to point out from the defensive side of football from Tennessee. Obviously, they don't have a lot of trust, especially in that defensive line. Jeremy Pruitt firing his D-line coach this week. Jimmy Brumbaugh out the door. So guess who's filling in for him? Jeremy Pruitt himself, the former Alabama assistant. So the streak lives on for Nick Saban. He is now 22-0 against former assistants. And we'll see if we'll wait till we get to our predictions, see if we both believe that'll still be the case at the end of this. You guys probably know what our predictions are going to be, but hey, we're going to keep rolling on. So we'll flip it to the defensive side of the football. Last week, you begged, Mike, you pleaded, please.
That's right. That's right.
Please, defense, step it up. I want to get your take. How did the defense take another step this week against Georgia, against a pretty good offense? Obviously, 3 turnovers from Stetson Bennett, not good. But how did you see them take the next step? What impressed you most, and how does that carry over against Tennessee this week?
I still think we have trouble covering in space with our linebackers. I think that's going to be an issue. I think that's nothing that you can really correct right now. But again, they're young. They're still a young defense, but I was impressed with the pressure that they put on the quarterback. I was pleased with that. The secondary looked strong. It was a few errors here and there. Wasn't a perfect game, but every player has an identity of its own. So I'm not really too concerned about this week, but I feel that we're gonna give them the blues this weekend.
Oh, so it's worth noting on the Tennessee side of the football, on the offense, Jeremy Pruitt a couple weeks ago said Jarrett Garantano is his guy. That's his guy. That's the quarterback. He wasn't playing great, but that's still their guy. Well, this week in his opening press conference, wasn't quite as certain of that. He said he's going to have to earn his stripes in practice. And so obviously last week against that Kentucky team, they lost again 34-7. Garantano threw it 21 times, picked up 88 yards, threw 2 pick sixes.
Got to be more careful.
Whew. So obviously, a concern there. So there is a chance that we might see some of the backup quarterbacks, Harrison Bailey, Brian Maurer, JT Shrout. They could all be in the mix. So we don't really quite know what that Tennessee offense is going to throw at this Alabama football team. But we know Alabama will be ready. So with that being said, you got to be careful. No trap game. When you go in, when you come off a high, like the win that they had against Georgia, how important is it to lock in and stay focused and go into Neyland Stadium with confidence but not cockiness?
Well, Coach Saban, I'm still sure he does it to this day. 24-hour rule. You got 24 hours to enjoy it. After that, wipe off your shoes, lace up your boots, time to get back to work. So they're locked and loaded. I feel like they're going to bring their A game. Again, I feel like they still have a point to prove. They have no stone is left unturned. So they're excited. I know they're going to play fast and they're going to be efficient this week. So I'm excited. I hope it's not. Don't get misconstrued me. I like blowouts, but I don't like blowouts, if that makes sense. That's an oxymoron. I like good football. Please have a good game. Bring the noise this week.
Bring the noise. What'd you think of Nick Saban's dance moves in the locker room?
Don't do it no more, Coach. Don't do it. Don't. Leave it to the young folks.
Prediction time. I'll go first.
Okay.
I usually make you predict first. I'll go first. I'm going to go Alabama winning this one handily. I got the score of 49-17. That's a blowout. I'm sorry.
It's a blowout. I haven't been right all year. It is going to be a blowout. I'm not too much worried about it. I'm going to give 42-10. If they got 7 on Kentucky, what you think ain't going to do against us? Ain't going to happen. Bama, don't let me down.
And our sponsors didn't let us down this week. A big shout out to the Tech Program by Mercedes-Benz. Dive into the world of advanced automotive technology by applying to the Tech Program at learnmercedes.com.
It's guaranteed that I die legend. Yeah, son God, homie, I'm reverend. Breaks, just protecting my investment. Ask about me, integrity's not a question. Straight up.